Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this Week 7 rendition of Burg Sports Game Day. I'm Gavin Race, joined with
David Brown. Gavin, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Tonight we got the Wheelersburg Pirates heading to the Oak Hill Oaks for their second game in conference. But before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about the game last week. We'll have some clips of that playing right here. Yeah, it was a tightly contested one, way closer than a lot of people thought.
Way closer than we thought.
Yeah, but a huge game from Eli Jones stepping in at quarterback, first game starting back there. And 3 rushing touchdowns ain't half bad from there.
No, especially not. And if I'm not mistaken, the one to win the game.
Yeah, he had all 3 of them, one to win the game. Braxton Sams knocked through a field goal, as you saw right at the half, and Wheelersburg was able to come away with a big win to open up their conference play. And tonight they'll be heading to play their second one against Oak Hill. Yeah, it's a game that a lot of people are expecting Wheelersburg to win, and it's really a stylistic matchup. Wheelersburg, they're going to spread it out a lot more, run a lot more jet sweeps, triple option style, and Oak Hill, it's going to be kind of more of a power run, pound it down the middle format.
That we've seen for the past couple of years, yeah.
Yeah, and they won't throw the ball much. Wheelersburg, if Jones is back there, you can kind of expect the same from them. But, yeah, heading to Oak Hill, they'll be looking to get their second win before they have a big home matchup, homecoming week against Waverly.
That'll be a good game. We'll be broadcasting that one.
Absolutely. But before we move on, let's talk a little bit about the other sports around Wheelersburg. Let's start off first with my team, soccer. We won big win last night, 4-0 over Northwest. The girls won 3-1, I believe, or 4-1 over Northwest.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, nice wins last night. Volleyball won out this week. They had a great week. They play again tomorrow against North Adams. We play tomorrow. We play Lynchburg Clay. It's a big game for us. We'll be broadcasting it right here on Burg Sports Network, so make sure you tune in for that.
For sure.
You guys run this weekend.
We're out on the west side at Earl Thomas Conley Park for the, I don't know whether it's a Shawnee State Invitational or a Portsmouth High School Invitational, but it's a great course. A lot of scenery, so I'm hoping our team will do well.
Yeah, best of luck to y'all. And
Same to you.
Thank you. And tennis, they're starting their sectional matches next week, and they're going to be looking to send a couple players to districts and hopefully state if they can. Best of luck to them.
Especially, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit more about tonight's game, though. Josh Boggs, he was out last week with quarantine, but he is back in the lineup this week.
Big weapon for the Pirates.
Yeah, he's great down there on the offensive line. A couple guys still out, but every team suffers with a couple of injuries here and there. But I feel like Wheelersburg, they're going to come in tonight and they're going to really show who they are before this big game against Waverly next week.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's going to do it for our game recap, game preview, and recap of those other sports. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be right back with the Pick'em Show with Mr. Eaton and our guest picker, Miss Lisa Moore.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to our Week 7 edition of the Pick'em Show. Mr. Eaton, as always, good to have you. Lisa,
Thank you, Gavin.
glad you're joining us this week.
Thank you.
Updates on the records last week. David,
I had a good week.
strong 11-4. Mr. Eaton, strong 12-3. I went 10-4, and Mr. Brown went a strong 12-3, and he's kind of keeping that gap between us and the guest picker. So
I'm not too far away.
you aren't.
You're
getting caught
close.
up. I mean, the problem with me this past week is I know Kentucky was going to win, but I told you I'm not picking Uck. But, your Catholic thing killed me. Notre Dame in the high school side and Notre Dame in the college side killed me, or I'd have been perfect.
You would have went with it.
So,
Well, I mean, Notre Dame did come away there in college-wise.
Yeah.
I picked against them, and then I picked for them in high school, and I lost them both.
Lost them both. One of them you lost barely because that one was a barn burner out there. But
Well, if you look at the Notre Dame-Wisconsin game, Wisconsin was leading the game in the fourth quarter,
And
13-10.
all of a sudden it was 41-10.
43-13 or something. And it was like, what happened? It was like they ate too much cheese. I think that's what it was.
That was what it is.
All
Or
right,
they cut the cheese. All
all right, let's get to it because we got a lot of games to get to this week. Start off, we're going to have Chillicothe heading to Washington Courthouse first. Mr. Eaton, I'll give the one to you. Courthouse, you picked them. You were the only one to pick them last week, and you got it right. So you going to stick with them?
I tell you what, they have a dynamite wide receiver. Kid's like 6'5", like super good athlete. But I'm going to go with Chillicothe this week. I think that Washington Courthouse really struggled. They won at literally the last second. And then I won't even talk about it, but at the end of the game, it wasn't much sportsmanship. But regardless,
Oh, Lord.
I'm going to go with Chillicothe this week. I feel like they're the better program overall.
Well, I guess I'll go with Chillicothe because you can buy Krispy Kreme donuts there.
Good choice.
Not so fast, my friend.
Oh.
I'm going to go with Washington Courthouse. I just feel like they have it this week coming off a win last week.
Yeah, I don't usually agree with David that much, but I'm going to go with Washington Courthouse as well. I think playing on their home field, and Chillicothe's had a rough string of games. I feel like it's kind of eating at their morale, and I think Courthouse is going to steal one from them. So the next one, we got Colgrove heading to Gallia Academy. This one's kind of a toss-up. David, I'll give it to you first.
I'm going to go with Colgrove.
Colgrove, all right. Matter of fact.
Colgrove.
I'm going to go with Gallia Academy.
Fun fact about Gallia Academy. For a very short period of time, I had the meet record at their cross-country course.
Really? Fun fact. I'm going with Gallia Academy because that's where Dave Rucker's from.
There you go.
And Coach Rob Woodward's from. So I'm going to go with the Blue Devils.
Bit of Wheelersburg history.
I think Gallia Academy is going to win. They've put up some pretty good fights in their game thus far, so I think they're just going to go ahead and roll over Colgrove here before they get into a couple of their tougher games on the schedule. So next one we got McLean heading to Jackson. Whenever McLean pops up, I love to say, hey, Mr. Eaton, why don't you pick this one first?
You know what's sad is we've had him 3 times in the show, and once again, I'm going against the McLean Tigers. Sorry. I think Jackson is just too powerful. But fun fact, the athletic director at Jackson was the athletic director at McLean. So,
Do you think that'll affect the game tonight?
no. Pat Stevens is at Jackson. I think Jackson wins. My friend Tim Bolander is the athletic director at Greenfield. Sorry, Tim, you lose this week. Jackson wins.
I say Jackson. They have a nice field.
They got really nice restaurants too. Like,
Yeah, they do.
What's the one place that has like the barbecue stuff?
Oh, and it has that big potato with everything on it.
Yes. What is that?
Rowdy's?
That's it. That's why they're gonna win.
Yeah.
Because they have the big potatoes.
That's it. What else do you need?
Can't go wrong with a baked potato. Jackson.
Yeah, I think Jackson's going to win. I just think they're the better team. And they kind of started Wheelersburg, that game with us and them. It was kind of a wake-up to them. They came out, had a big win last week. I think they're just going to roll. Next one, we got Miami Trace heading to Hillsborough. Lisa, I'll give you this one first.
Miami Trace.
Miami
Go with
Trace.
the Panthers. And I'm gonna go with the Panthers. Miami Trace.
Yeah, I think Miami Trace wins this one.
Let's make it 4.
Miami Trace sweep. All right. Next one, let's head some OVC. Oh, no, before we get to the OVC, Mr. Eaton, I'll give you this one. You can go ahead and announce it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Southeastern and Piketon.
Well, as you can see, I had to pull out my old jersey, and it's not fitting as well as it used to. But actually, compliments to Mrs. Legg. If I can turn around in this thing, from the Piketon grad. She's valedictorian. I don't know how anyone fit in this at 2:30, but I'm going to go with Piketon, 6th week in a row. I said if they won again, I'd wear their jersey. I'm a man of my word. Piketon.
I'll go with Piketon.
And Gavin, once again, I'm going to go with Piketon.
Yep, I think Piketon wins. The quarterback there, I think, what was his last game? He had 8 total touchdowns between running and passing, 400 yards. I just want to know what records he's going to break when we get to the end of the season.
This is by far the best season Piketon, I want to say, has ever had in 30 years. This
Yeah,
is a big, big year for them.
I'm going to call it right now. I don't see them losing a game for the rest of the year. I think they're going to end up with that 1 seed in Region
Good,
19.
I'll give you this jersey because I can't fit in. I'm going to need someone to take some scissors and cut it off me.
All right,
The goals of life on this jersey.
let's get into some OVC action. We got Fairland heading to South Point tonight. David.
Let's go Fairland.
Fairland?
We've seen them play well, especially with that Ironton game, and I know South Point lost very badly to Ironton, so from the point differentials, I've got to go with Fairland.
Yep.
Fairland.
Fairland, that's where the family's from.
Fairland, yeah. Mr. Eaton, he picked 1 week. He picked against Fairland. It was the Ironton game, and that game was way closer than he thought it was ever going to be. And he got some unhappy texts after that one.
It is what it is. You can't pick your family. Sometimes you wish you could throw them out, but they are what they are.
Next, we got Rock Hill heading to Ironton. I'll take this one first. Ironton's not losing at home. Ironton's not losing a conference game at home. I'm going with Ironton.
Well, I 100%. I will light my house on fire if Ironton loses this
I
game.
wouldn't say that.
No, I think I would. I will light it on fire.
Wow.
Ironton will win.
Ironton.
Do we have this? Can we write this down somewhere?
don't
I
know.
really don't want this to happen now.
Coach Pendleton, if you're listening,
Rally the troops.
We got a house on the line, so.
Rally the troops. Now, I'm not going to bet my house, but I will say Ironton will come away with this
First you
one.
need a job, then you need a house, then you can set your house on
I don't
fire.
pay for my. I'm not paying for my house.
That's true. That's true.
All right, last one from the OVC. We got Chesapeake heading to Portsmouth tonight. Portsmouth rolling. Who you got?
Easy, Portsmouth, and running clock.
Running clock.
Portsmouth.
Portsmouth, easy.
Portsmouth, yeah. I figured we were going to fly through some of those games. But all right, let's get to the college level. We got number 9 Cincinnati heading to number 7 Notre Dame. Like you said, the Notre Dame game was close late. And I just want to say this real quick. Cincinnati last year was really upset that they didn't get a chance in the college football playoff. So they've just kind of gone out and said, we'll play anyone, anywhere, anytime. Mm-hmm. And they're really showing out with their victories this year.
Why don't you give us your prediction here?
This one's tough because I got a lot of friends that are Notre Dame fans.
Mm-hmm.
but
David watches Catholic movies.
Yes.
Just
But-
We know that.
I'm going to go with the underdog in Cincinnati just because I am a Cincinnati fan through and through, whether it's baseball, even though
I know.
it's been rough, or football, which it's also been rough, but they got a big win last night over
They did.
3-1.
Jacksonville. Yeah, they
The Bengals
played
are 3-1.
really well this year. I'm going to go with Cincinnati. Bearcats, close. I think Jack Cohn keeps it close.
Play like a champion today, Notre Dame.
Cincinnati.
Okay, I'm right in the middle of the middle here.
Which cross country team would you prefer to run in South Bend, Indiana, or would you prefer to run in downtown Cincinnati?
I
That's
can answer
what it
that for
comes
him.
down to.
Oh,
That's what it comes down to.
now that's an easy question. The harder question's the game. I really like Cincinnati. It's a great place to go and visit sometimes, but I just can't see them coming away with the win against Notre Dame, who's had that record of being a top-tier playoff appearance.
Okay.
All right.
2 Notre Dame, 2 Cincinnati. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see. All right, let's head to some SEC football. If you told me Arkansas was going to be number 8 at the start of the season, I thought you were going to, well, 2 years ago, I thought you would be absolutely crazy, but here we are, undefeated Arkansas playing against undefeated Georgia. Georgia's won by an average of, I think, 40 points every game. Arkansas has had some quality wins this year. Who you got?
See, Arkansas versus Georgia. I love the head coach of Arkansas. I mean, he is awesome. Like, if you ever watch some YouTube stuff on it, like, his players love him, and I think that's why they're doing so well. However, talent gap's still there. I go with Georgia in the depth of Georgia.
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 Not
on
only,
my
folks,
mind.
does he watch Catholic movies, he also loves Ray Charles.
Ray Charles, there you go.
Yeah. Georgia and Kirby Smart are going to win this one. I think if there's been a year for Georgia, this is it. So Georgia, not big, but I think Arkansas will keep it close late. Georgia will pull away. JT Daniels, he's their guy. So next one, we got number 12, Ole Miss, playing number 1, Alabama. David, I know how much you love picking Alabama games, so I'll give this one to you first.
It's kind of like me
It's
with
like-
Kentucky.
I
It
mean,
just
it-
hurts you, doesn't it?
It really it takes your dignity away
It does.
for
It's
a
like
second.
integrity or your winning percentage. It's just really hard. It's
I feel like, I mean, this is pulling teeth. Bama.
All right, Alabama.
Yeah, Bama.
Nelly from Alabama. That's what I'm going with. That's Keith Jackson, by the way.
Matt Corral is the real deal.
Woo!
I think.
What? Am I hearing it?
Here's the thing. I don't think the Ole Miss defense is good enough to stop the Alabama offense.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't need to be good enough to stop an offense when you can just score more than them.
Mm-hmm.
The Lane train is going to roll into Tuscaloosa with Matt Corral at the helm, and they are going to upset Alabama. I will keep picking against them until it happens, because last time I did, it almost happened. It will have happened eventually. Ole Miss
And because
wins.
you said that, now Alabama's going to go undefeated and win a national championship.
Ole Miss 60, Alabama 57. That's my prediction.
Okay. Going with Ole Miss.
All right, next one we got number 10, Florida, heading to Kroger Field to play against the Kentucky Wildcats.
Lisa, what do you got?
Lisa.
Florida.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't pick Kentucky.
Oh, all right.
Gators.
Oh, you don't pick Florida either? Oh.
Kentucky. She doesn't pick Kentucky.
I don't-
Oh, I thought you were saying you picked Kentucky.
Oh gosh, I might pick them because if I pick them, they'll probably lose. But haven't decided yet. I'm still listening.
All right, Nate. Oh, sure.
I would just like to say, if you do pick Kentucky, they're going to win.
So what do you
So
say?
what are you picking?
But Florida.
Let's make it real quick. Like, do you know my answer?
Yes, I know your answer.
Do we even need to
You don't even
circle
need to ask me.
around?
Like, you could say,
He's picking
who's
Florida.
going to win? Kentucky or
Not Kentucky.
not Kentucky? It's always going to be not Kentucky. So it could be anyone, and I'm going to pick that anyone. So Kentucky loses to Florida.
What if it was like UNC?
I'm fine with that. UNC over Kentucky. I think I've explained this very deeply. Yes, I'm a Duke basketball fan, but I'm also a Ohio State football fan. But I would say my rankings of hatred starts Kentucky 1.
Wow.
I would say North Carolina 2, and Alabama 3. That would really be my pecking order. That may be one of the questions we have to ask.
Okay, what if it was Michigan playing Kentucky?
I would honestly put Michigan below Alabama because that's not a rivalry anymore. For crying out loud.
Fair
You
enough.
got to win a game.
Fair
Jim
enough.
Harbaugh, you got to win a game. You
Fair
win
enough.
a game, maybe we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I'm going with Florida too. I think Florida wins. So let's head to some SOC.
Oh.
Valley heading to Waverly tonight. Let's make it quick.
Waverly.
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 Anyway, let's move on. Memphis heading to West tonight. Memphis kept it really close with
This one's
Wheelersburg.
a tough one.
It's very tough. David, you can take it first.
See, now I was really hoping you didn't come down here because I was really banking on you guys picking for me. Memphis at West. I'm going to go with Memphis.
All right, Memphis.
If they play like they did against us.
I'll go with Medford.
I think Memphis beat up.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to go with West. And I think it's just because they played us. And I think sometimes when you play a really tough opponent and then you play another tough opponent, it's just hard on kids. Like I always say that about playing Ironton week 1. Whoever walks away with that game winning, it's just tough to win the next one because you know it's a physical ball game. So I'm going to go with West just for the fact that West is kind of trending, and I think Memphis was. I mean, there were a lot of kids cramping, and and on our team, a lot of kids cramping. It was a physical ball game. So I'm going to go with West.
I'm going to go with West too because I've just kind of noticed a pattern of every year. This first conference matchup has always been Memphis playing against Wheelersburg, and Wheelersburg comes away with it, and the spiral just starts for Memphis, and they lose the game that they shouldn't. They lose to a Oak Hill or they lose to a Valley, and I think it's going to happen earlier than it usually does this year because
Wow.
why not? So I'm going to go with West as well. All right, final game. I'm going to take a step back. I'll be down there on the sideline tonight. Wheelersburg at Oak Hill. Oak Hill lost to Valley last week. Wheelersburg slim win last week over Minford, obviously led by the big performance. First start back there, Eli Jones, 3 rushing touchdowns. David, who you got?
Let's go for the 4-3 record. Let's send it Wheelersburg.
4-3.
Or what does that say?
Well,
4-2. 4-2.
Yeah, if they win, Wheelersburg will be 4-3.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah,
I got algorithm.
I got you.
Wheelersburg, big win.
Wheelersburg.
Will you be at the game?
Yes.
So you guys gonna stop and eat like a Callie's Pizza? Or
Well, we've been discussing.
Debating.
Yeah, we might.
What's the go-to? I mean, because Callie's Pizza is.
It's good. Or, we might go with, Danny Ball, and he mentioned going to Rowdy's.
Oh, so
drive-
just
yeah.
sliding over to Jackson.
Yeah, we just don't know yet.
Okay. Interesting fact. Callie's Pizza is actually named after Tom Kalinowski. Tom Kalinowski was actually, when I was a young kid, my dad and Tom Kalinowski were best friends. We live right next to him. I got a lot of really close family members. I wouldn't call them family, but they're like family. In Oak Hill, and like Doug Hale and some other folks really love Oak Hill. Love Callie's Pizza, but sorry guys, Oak Hill. I think it's just we are better, and we will win by a lot. And I think it's going to be a running clock unless they can chunk and run, and get some first downs. Because Oak Hill does like to grind the clock out, and that's exactly what they're going to do. I think it would be equivalent to like a Navy playing Ohio State. If they can get first downs and convert on 3rd and 4th, they can keep it close. But I ultimately think the Pirates win something like 35-7 or 35-0, something like that.
All
So
right.
Pirates bowl from Middlesbrough.
Pirates roll. So that's going to wrap it up here this week for our Game Day show. Lisa, I appreciate you joining me.
Thank you. It was fun.
Mr. Eaton, as always.
Yes, absolutely. And as always, go Burg and cheer on your Pirates, your band members, your cheerleaders. Lisa's not missed a game since 1922. Her and Bruce go every day, or every game as much as they can. So be like a true Pirate fan. Go support your kids.
All right, I'm going to get us out of here. David, take it. we were joined by David,
Yes.
Lisa, Mr. Eaton, and Gavin Race. Mr. Eaton, I'll get you out of here so you can get out of this jersey.
You got it. Go Burg.